Just a week before the first race of the inaugural season of the Grand National Series, Saturday Night Thunder returns for 2024. And with one more week before the season gets going, tonight, there are rewards on the line. Instead of Daytona, where our season opener will be held, we're racing at the Iowa Speedway for the Dash for Cash 100, brought to you by our friend Chris Tripp, with over $50 of prizes on the line before the main season gets going. Great to have you all back for the first time on FTN this year, live on FTN. I'll be your host throughout all of tonight's action. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing a highly anticipated event over a highly anticipated season, and the beautiful Iowa Speedway. You'll see it on your screen, the sun setting. Well, it's already set by this point, and right now the conditions on track are lights out, except of course for the artificial lights that are surrounding the circuit. And over 20 drivers have registered for tonight's race, with qualifying beginning momentarily. A very short circuit with fast laps, 100 of which tonight will set the stage for who will come home with our grand prize, $30 going to your race winner, as the Christmas Clash was previously. However, there are prizes for your podium. Second and third also will receive cash benefits after tonight's race. And just like that, we have returned to the Iowa Speedway. Nighttime skies here, and qualifying set to begin. It's now going to be 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining on the track as drivers hit the pavement for the first time. And right now, we're looking at Michael Stroll, one of the many familiar faces you're seeing potentially for the first time in SNT competition. That number 3 machine was the 38 last season in the Integrity Ignite Series, and now finds itself with a brand new number, the number 3 AC Delco machine. Michael Stroll will take you to his first lap of qualifying, 2 laps given to each driver, and it looks like right now he's going to be top of the board as it stands with a 23.46 as the rest of the field gets on its way as well. And it looks like right now Michael Stroll, Donald Vincent, Gary Bergeron, and Henry Kaloff have taken laps. Kaloff is now going to be about a few tenths of a second off of Michael Stroll. At the line, Stroll's already the fastest, and he's going to be able to extend that lead by a few thousandths of a second. Michael Stroll holds provisional pole over Henry Kaloff there in second, and as the number 63 crosses the line, it looks like he's going to stay within the top 2, and he's going to jump up to first. Henry Kaloff is now going to have the pole position to himself by 27 thousandths of a second. Very good there for the number 63 team. John Grab going to make it in with the Carnomaly Chevy Camaro, and right now it's going to be John 6th on the board of the 6 drivers who have taken the time. Ryan Rose, for the first time in SMT competition, will qualify for tonight's race. A lot of new faces we're seeing in this series, and we're looking at over 20 full-time competitors throughout the entirety of the season, which will kick off next week at Daytona. Right now, Rose is going to be coming to the stripe with speed, 5th place on his first lap, and he will jump up into what looks to be the 5th spot regardless. Now it's going to be Alec Daffin, the fastest man on the board, and a driver so quick with these Xfinity machines. Keep an eye out for Alec as the race goes on. Your defending Integrity Ignite Series champion and runner-up 2 seasons in a row here in SNT competition. Vinny Tigner will take to the circuit at the same time and finds himself 7th on the board, whereas River Page, who won the Christmas Class, now runs in 6th. And the Clash winner, River Page, has returned, this time in an all-red number 24. And right now he's going to be coming to the line. Brand new paint scheme for the Miata Gang Designs crew, and already looking to replicate that success from last week. River is just outside the top 5 here in qualifying, and a very familiar face, Jordan Kuntz, is now gotten on the way. Kuntz, 2-time champion here in the Saturday Night Thunder Truck Series that we've seen in previous seasons. He won the championship last season and the season prior, and is the odds-on favorite to maybe go for a 3-peat when all is said and done. Get through the middle of this year, we'll crown ourselves a champion. It might just be Jordan Kuntz. His first lap is going to put him up into the conversation for a 5th place qualifying spot, but it's not going to be valid. It's going to be a bit of contact coming out of the final corner, and now Jordan's going to be doing it all over again, staying high to get that momentum through 3 and 4, and now powering down the front straightaway at the line for Jordan Kuntz. It's going to go from top 5 conversation to the pole position. as Kuntz is fastest by 5 1/1000ths. At the line, Jordan Kuntz is quickest, and now a minute remains in qualifying before the session has ended. Of course, a lot of drivers still have a chance to go up on the track. Donald Vinson, the last of 12 drivers to take a time. James Thurston, Tyler Seibert, Curtis Sabarin, Greg Robinson, James Nelson, Carter Casey, Rick Spencer-Walt, Chris Tripp, Michael Boone, and Tommy Osborne have all not chosen to take a time and are waiting for the session to run out. So with 42 seconds left on the board, it appears that qualifying has been concluded, and your pole sitter, our two-time defending champion, Jordan Kuntz, will lead the field here in Iowa. How about we get to know the starting grid for tonight's event? Without further ado, let's find out how the field stacks up for the first time in 2024. This is the Dash for Cash 100. Welcome back to Iowa Speedway. It's Jordan Kuntz with the pole. 23.354 for the number 99 machine, two-time champion, and he finds himself next to former teammate Alec Daffin, separate by only 5 1/1000ths of a second. Daffin, the Ignite Series champion, will round up to the front row. However, he'll be on the outside groove and have that top lane to himself when the race begins. Henry Kaloff is going to be in the third position in qualifying with a 23.419. The Full Send SuperSpeedway Series champion goes from one Saturday Series to the next and will find himself on the podium here in qualifying with Michael Stroll, then position number 4. Fifth is going to be Jackson Van Pelt with the 07 machine. Very solid run for Jackson, and we've seen a lot out of him recently, as it's Ryan Rose, the brand new driver to the field, starting 6th in the number 78. River Page, the Christmas Clash winner, will find himself in 7th, and a 23.591 puts him just ahead of Vinny Zigner, and a 23.646 in the number 12. Scott Erickson will be the final driver in the single digits with a 23.785, as it's Gary Bergeron in a 23.882, rounding out the top 10, Gary in the number 1. It's going to be then from there, John Grab, the final of 11 drivers to take a time. Don't count Donald Vinson. It's Vinson there who rounds out the top dozen with a 24.088, and as such, it's going to be James Thurston, the first driver, not with a time on the board. iRating will put him up to the 13th position, and it's then going to be Carter Casey, 14th according to that number. Rick Spencer-Walt will round out the top 15 with Chris Tripp then in 16th, and James Nelson then 17th with Greg Robinson, position number 18. Tyler Seibert will then be in the 19th spot, and Michael Boone will round out the top 20, as Boone's going to be there in the number 5 machine, just beside the number 77. Two more drivers in the field tonight. Those will be the 21st place driver of Curtis Sabarin in the qualifying session, and the number 54 machine. We saw him last season. The same goes for the 55. 22nd and last in the night's starting grid, Tommy Osborne. That is your starting grid for the Dash for Cash 100, the first race of the year here in the Iowa Speedway. And just like that, qualifying is over, and we're on to our warm-up session here with drivers taking a few extra laps before we get truly settled in. Right now, James Thurston finds himself the fastest of all drivers in this warm-up session as everyone continues to get acclimated to the car. And of course, this is a much different package from what we saw last year, and a lot of leagues are making the switch from what was, of course, a very popular option, the trucks, to these Xfinity machines. Expect to see a lot more of them live on FTN throughout the year, not only here in the Saturday Night Thunder Grand National Series, but the Highline Racing League and the IORA Cup Series, all making the change as one of the most popular stock cars in all of America, not only seeing popularity in the real world, but also in the virtual realm, and it's going to change a lot of driving mannerisms and the approach these drivers take week in, week out. Getting familiar with the higher horsepower nature of the Xfinity Series machine, that's going to be a task everyone has to take part in. James Thurston is no stranger to high speeds and high horsepower. Success almost daily on the iRacing platform, the IORA Season 3 champion, and a prolific driver in the FORL Cup Series as well, making only his second start here in SNT competition. And finding out a bit more about this field overall, he races very well with guys like River Page, and we saw that in the Christmas Clash. Those two drivers very frequently hooking up to one another and making things happen as the night goes on. But Ryan Rose will now be faster with about 90 seconds left on the board. Rose there, the number 78 machine. He's back down on pit road, but he's only 4/1000ths of a second quicker than James Thurston. Quick enough to make a difference, though, and Jackson Van Pelt will now be in third as River Page finds himself fourth, and he's still on the track right now trying to make some gains as he comes off of turn 4 at the line. River Page trying to beat a 23.493. Isn't able to do so. Tommy Osborne rounds out the top 5 with some trouble there as the number 77 of Tyler Seibert gets a piece. He's going to have to go down to pit road as multiple drivers pile in. Rose is still on pit road. Jackson Van Pelt appears to be exiting pit road as we speak. And now the 07 machine, a Penske Racing throwback, gets on the way. A lot of different faces here. Van Pelt, not one of which that we haven't seen before. However, this will be his first full-time season, coming in midway through the previous and trying to make a bit more of a dent, looking for that first career win. A few drivers able to get that first career win last season. Davis Lewis, Henry Kaloff, two very big examples, not to mention, in addition, also Alexander Russell. Right now, with 22 seconds remaining, it's Jackson Van Pelt looking to stand the test of time, become a regular here in this series. And of course, the first step, maybe to make a dent here in the dash for cash. Now, keep in mind, over $50 on the line here, 30 going to your winning driver. Everyone trying to hit the jackpot tonight, but right now, only one driver is the quickest. That is Ryan Rose, and the number 78 finds himself fastest here in second practice. Warm-up has concluded, and now it's time to get to your starting grid and the main event in Iowa. And now as the track goes silent one last time, it's time to get things going in Iowa fashion. It's going to be, of course, 100 laps of racing, so keep it in mind we could see it go all the way green. No stage breaks here in SNT competition. We'll go as long green as we possibly can. And now as we take a look at the field as they get settled in, Jordan Kuntz going to lead them all on pit road. That's the number 99, and his former teammate will be right next to him as they come through out of pit lane. Alec Daffin, Jordan Kuntz, the dynamic duo that made Shaw Racing a juggernaut last season. Well, they're both going their separate ways. Jordan Kuntz in the all-black number 99 and Alec Daffin racing independently for the rest of this year. After a successful end to his time with Shaw Racing, Daffin is setting his sights on leaving the full-time sim racing sphere and instead pursuing other ventures outside of the iRacing platform. But that doesn't mean he won't be here on part-time occasions, and he is set to be in the front row as the number 99 is already there with them. Henry Kaloff and that number 63 machine is going to be lined up right there with Michael Stroll, and as it stands right now for Stroll, that number 3 team definitely settled in terms of the Xfinity Series machines. Now they're just trying to find out how to continuously improve in regards to, of course, this field. We saw Stroll one time last season, made a very solid run at Richmond, coming through with a podium finish. However, not a full-time campaign and only one brief appearance, so nothing all too major. Now time to really settle in and become a full-time competitor. I think that's the game plan right now for Michael Stroll, and as we look forward to tonight's race, he might be able to cement himself as a full-time competitor whenever he shows up. Look further back to guys like James Thurston right now. You'll see that number 96 machine in the middle of the field. In addition, there's Jackson Van Pelt, River Page, and Rick Spencer-Walt, all veterans in one form or another here on FTN. A lot of familiar faces racing each other tonight from all over the iRacing platform, and now it looks like they'll be set to grab a gear. Alec Daffin is on the starting grid, which means we'll be set to get rolling in a moment's time. The pace car gets off pit road for the first time in this evening, and it's time to get ready to rumble here from Iowa. And when we mentioned, of course, Richmond Raceway just a few moments ago, I think that's one of the tracks that we should compare most similar to Iowa Speedway. And the front row, I think it's fitting given how Richmond went last season. It was Jordan Kuntz and Alec Daffin with a beat and bang finish all the way to line. The final 20-odd laps were consistently trading the lead back and forth between the series' two hottest drivers. To put it bluntly, those two are by far the most accomplished of this field, and they're hoping to, of course, battle once again to prove that's the case. Jordan Kuntz in the number 99, he won that race, but Alec Daffin, coming off of 2 consecutive victories, kept them honest all throughout the night, and that's why it was such a thrilling performance. But another reason, track conditions. Iowa, Richmond, both have that banked front straightaway. You can carry a lot of momentum into the low side as always, but also that high groove can help you out as well. So don't be surprised if we see some 2 wide, some 3 wide racing. Depending on how aggressive guys get as the race goes on, we could be in for one exciting event where we might see a little more patience early on that gives way to some strategy, a little more aggression by the time we're closer to the checkered flag than the first green of the night. Jordan Kuntz, Alec Daffin, 2 of the most accomplished drivers, top 2 in points 2 seasons in a row, are getting ready to do it all over again. The Dash for Cash 100, there's prizes on the line, and the money will talk as the race goes on. Kuntz setting himself up for a rocket launch off of the Geico restart zone. Pace cars in, Kuntz in control, green flags out. Welcome to 2024. We are green for the Iowa Speedway. And Jordan Kuntz at the line will not have the lead. Take a look at Alec Daffin getting the jump on his former teammate. It's now Daffin up in front, and the Colorado Technical Institute now mile high with the race lead early on. Big move there for Daffin to get the jump away from the number 99 machine. There's Henry Kaloff now keeping himself in third. Michael Stroll up top. He's going to try to run the banking on the high side. As we mentioned, that's a viable strategy. So good for Stroll to be trying things out early on, but Henry Kaloff's got him for the time being, and it's still Henry there in third. Very quick start to this race, already 3 laps in, and it's going to be multi-groove racing as we mentioned, using the high side, using the low and the middle as well. Taking a look now at Jackson Van Pelt as he finds himself just ahead of Ryan Rose. Rose so far has been the most impressive of the debutants tonight. Got many to speak of, such as Jerry Bergeron, Tyler Seivert further in the field, Greg Robinson as well, but Ryan's been one of the faster guys in practice and qualifying alike, and looks to have some real pace for the field in front of him. But River Page, he hasn't quite met just yet. River Page, of course, making the daring moves last week to win in the Christmas Clash, and he made it very clear he's not here to make friends, he's here to win races, and sometimes that mentality comes out of him a bit early, but it seems to work out for River. This is already laying the bumper just a bit on Ryan. Nothing major just yet, though, as it looks like Michael Stroll gets up into third. Jackson Van Pelt is going to be able to take it into fourth, and now Henry Kaloff is going to be in that 5th spot, finding himself slowly but surely losing spots. Nothing major just yet, though, so we'll keep an eye on that as the race progresses. Take a look at River Page going way down low there with the number 24. And you can see he's trying to make something happen on Ryan here. He's down low, gets a bit too close, and he's going to have to weave and bob down to the bottom of the corner. Henry Kaloff and River Page have raced each other quite a few times, and they're going to seem to be close once again, so he knows a bit better how to defend River's more aggressive mechanism of racing. Ryan Rose, though, is just going to let the rhythm hit him and get right back into 6th. Nice move there for the 78 machine as he's now going to be back single file up in front of the field. There's, of course, the action, but there's always a lot more further back. Jerry Bergeron racing now with the number 54 of Curtis Sabarin, another new driver to speak of here, and this is the number 1 machine. First time we've seen him race with this group of drivers in the Harley-Davidson Chevrolet, and we're going to keep that number identifier on as we meet and greet a lot of new drivers throughout the field. Curtis Sabarin you've seen before. Tonight he's racing in the number 54 Toyota Supra, and Donald Vincent is tonight racing in the Brandt number 8. And a similar paint scheme to what we've seen in other series. It's a Good Ranch Chevrolet, number 29 of Greg Robinson. Kevin Harvick throwback there in the number 29. As Chris Tripp tonight races the Hardys, number 90. A throwback to Cale Yarbrough, who recently passed on one of NASCAR's legendary drivers, and an unfortunate passing as one of the most storied drivers in stock car racing history, and an honorable paint scheme to throw back to one of NASCAR's most successful drivers in history. Now we look throughout the field. Tyler Seibert, another driver debuting tonight in the number 77 Chevy Camaro, and John Grab in the 53. He's representing Carnomaly, and they hosted the Carnomaly 500 in 2021, one of the fastest sim racing events of all time, with 230-mile-an-hour stock cars taking on Daytona International Speedway. A fantastic event and a lasting impact, as you'll see the Carnomaly paint scheme here tonight. 21 drivers going back to Michael Boone. Right now, Alec Daffin's got the lead, and he's got it by a wide margin. Daffin has been odds-on one of the fastest drivers in the Xfinity machines all throughout the past half year. If you remember watching the Integrity Ignite Series live on FTN, Daffin, when the playoffs came in the Clash format, there were 5 races left in the season. His average finish was 1.66, and he was never lower than 3rd at the end of any race. He had 2 wins, 2 second places, and a 3rd place finish. He was the fastest driver by a long shot and went from the lowest seed driver in the regular season to the champion, and getting it done over some of the most successful drivers in the Integrity Racing League's history, including Michael Stroll, and it was a fantastic championship battle. Daffin was the final driver to point his way in, and he made everyone look like they were in a different class of car. He was quicker just about every race. It didn't matter where he qualified. Tonight he qualified very strong in the 2nd position. However, when it comes down to wheeling these machines, I don't think there's anyone quite like Alec Daffin, as we'll take a look on board now with the number 48. Keep in mind, we're looking at the wheel movements in the bottom left of your screen, and you'll get a bit more of an understanding of how he maneuvers the car relative to his competition. And you can see there, very delicate with the steering wheel. Nothing too crazy, making moves when necessary, but nothing much besides that. So Alec Daffin right now really performing the intricacies of stock car racing. However, he's getting caught back up to that time by about 68 thousandths of a second quicker. Jordan Kuntz, he's now getting back there, and Michael Stroll is in tow as well. So maybe Daffin's run of dominance might be coming to an end tonight. He's already up in front, but might be burning up that stuff just a bit. And as we say that, Jordan Kuntz is about 1/10 of a second slower, so they're still back and forth. Nothing is too certain, at least for now. Closest battle in the racing circuit goes back to Tyler Seibert and Curtis Sabarin. We're very far back in the field right now, looking at about 15th, but no stranger to good racing. Every portion of this field gives us something exciting. The 77 right up top. Seibert's trying to make something happen. Sabarin looks low, and now he's looking towards Josh Grab, or rather, looks like now he's going to grab that spot, and John Grab is going to lose a spot. Just like that, Curtis has the advantage. He'll just have to carry it out of the corner, and it looks like he does. And just like that, Sabarin up to 13th in a few moments' time, taking several spots. Very nice move there from Curtis Sabarin. And just like that, he'll put himself in the 13th position with Jerry Bergeron in 12th. Scott Erickson is 11th, and Rick Spencer-Walt is in 10th. And right now, for the most part, the field up in front has been very calm. Alec Daffin is slightly losing time overall, lap after lap. It's about a loss of maybe 2/100ths of a second, consistently speaking. And it's one thing to catch up to the race leader. It is, of course, always another to pass that driver. Right now, Jordan Kuntz is getting close to maybe making something happen, but it all comes down to whether or not the track real estate is there to make a pass. And Alec Daffin is no easy pass any night he's racing, let alone these Xfinity Series machines. So I'm sure that if Kuntz gets there, he's going to see it's going to be a challenge to really get around this number 48, as he seems to be locked in throughout the first 5th of this night. Nobody inside of Alec Daffin so far. He's had it up in front all throughout the race. River Page, who won their most recent Christmas Clash, he's right now in 5th and facing a bit of pressure down there. If you look at the quarter panel view, take a look now on board with River Page. Vinny Tigner and Henry Kalhoff are both behind. And can see up top, Rivers got the run using that middle groove of the track. Henry Kaloff opting to go bottom. Vinny's a bit higher than the both of them at the same time, but it looks like right now River gets a very good run because of Henry Kaloff distracting Vinny Tigner. Not necessarily a true distraction per se, but that battle will cost you a lot of time if you're not focusing on the driver ahead of you and the driver beside you. Just a different racing philosophy. So for River, he has the advantage of cleaner air, gets away just a bit, and now he's running about a tenth of a second ahead of Vinny Tigner with time to spare until the next onslaught and maybe a bit more aggression in the future. The big trouble could be Jackson Van Pelt though, because now Van Pelt might be holding up the both of the drivers right behind him. And as it stands, Jackson, who runs in fourth, is going to face the heat as River Page gets closer and closer lap after lap. 23 laps in out of 100. River Page going to put the bumper there. Another quarter panel wiggle, and Van Pelt is going to go up high, and he's going to have to take it and hopefully not leave it. For his chances to get back there, he's going to dive down low. He's really getting the run off the corner, and now Jackson Van Pelt trying to get around River Page. Gets blocked once, blocked twice. Van Pelt, he's no stranger to the treatment from River. He's going to try to lay the bumper, but just can't get there. River Page so close to losing it there, but Jackson Van Pelt hasn't gone for it, and you can see way too far to now. He's going to send it much deeper, but now Vinny Tigner's there at the same time. Front and back, Jackson Van Pelt facing the onslaught now, and as he comes back to the line, he's going to have to hold off, of course, Vinny Tigner, and maybe try to get back at River Page, but it looks like that's going to be a fantasy as River gets away and now tries to put himself in the conversation with Michael Stroll, Jordan Kuntz, and, of course, the guys ahead, which include Alec Daffin, who's your leader. Daffin at the line is going to lead the first quarter of this race from stripe to stripe at lap number 26. That is still the case, and it looks like right now Vinny Tigner is no match, nor is Jordan Kuntz. As it stands, these drivers definitely putting on a good show, but at the same time, not a lot of aggression just yet. Good to see, of course, very, very respectful driving up in front, and no, there's still 100 laps overall on the table. You do not want to mistake yourself as an over-aggressive competitor so early, given there's so many laps, so much opportunity to perfect your racing craft, as it looks like River Page is going to be out of the session, and as we look through it, that looks to be his own internet loss, and it looks like he's going to disconnect you to download packet loss, so connection troubles for River Page. He was not removed from the session. It looks like he just got removed from his own side. So River Page is going to be out of this one. As you can see now, Jordan Kuntz takes it down to the bottom, and they'll be neck and neck for the lead. At the line, it's going to be Daffin trying to work something up high. He'll go down the back straightaway with the high side in hand, but Jordan Kuntz now has it down low. Kuntz with the race lead, takes it from Daffin, slides back up the track. And at the line, it's going to be Daffin looking to go low already. He's all over the back bumper of Jordan Kuntz. And now it's Jordan with the race lead. Two-time champion back to the front of the board. And just like that, your pole sitter has the race lead. Alec Daffin, who has had the lead ever since the first lap, will lunge down low and now shoots it down to the bottom side. 29 laps in, he does not want to give it up so early. And Michael Stroll waits in the wings, hoping for an opportunity to maybe make something happen here and perhaps get himself involved in the race leading battle. Already Alec Daffin is going to be losing about a tenth and a half each and every lap he's been out of the lead, and Jordan Kuntz now has the edge. And it looks like after about a dozen laps setting up that pass, waiting for the perfect opportunity, it's going to be Jordan Kuntz who finds that room and takes himself to the point. New race leader, Jordan Kuntz, and he's up in front now, and he's hoping to extend that lead more and more. Looks to be quiet up ahead, side by side between Greg Robinson and James Nelson. Nelson going to be down to the bottom side, taking it way down low. Nelson's going to take that 16th spot away, and just like that, he'll try to chase down Tyler Seivert, and it's two machines, and they got the flames We'll see if they're going to bring the heat to this battle. Nelson goes down low. The 77 of Seibert maintains his position. And James takes it down to that bottom side. Looks to get a nice run out of there. And just like that, it's going to be up into 15th. 2 spots and 2 laps. Nice move in there for James Nelson and the number 75. We saw some very solid runs out of Nelson last season, particularly in our most coveted event of the previous season at Charlotte, where there was a $50 cash bonus on the line for your race winner. Nelson came home in 5th after a chaotic race, which saw, of course, a last lap calamity, Alec Daffin being wrecked, and overall Alexander Russell coming home with his first career victory in this league. Nelson, that was his first campaign, of course, as a season, and had some very good moments as a rookie driver, now hoping to become a full-time competitor and maybe a threat further up the field. As we now have a chance to look at Jordan Coons, he's now your new race leader. How about we take a lap on board with the number 9 iMachine and see what he's doing to protect and extend the gap he has. And looking at Jordan Coons, much like Alec Daffin, it's all about that consistency. Little movements, no big changes. You want to have a formula, you want to stick to it. And right now, that is exactly what we're seeing. Jordan Coons running very well so far. He's got a 0.6 of a second gap. And this happens if Jordan Coons can get the lead. Dominance. He's had those dominant race victories before, and he's looking to have one once again. It's the number 9 iMachine now making a big gap. Michael Stroll looking to get back up into second here. And the number 3 looking to make things happen as he's going to take it down the backstretch, now about a 1/4 of a second behind Alec Daffin. And Daffin, who was oh so dominant in the opening quarter of this race, now seeing a pitfall of his strategy, a bit too aggressive early on. That might be the diagnosis of how his tires are getting much warmer. Of course, feeling the heat, might have used up those resources a bit too much, and that's going to cost you, of course, at a track like Iowa, where there's not much to rely on in terms of banking. There is banking throughout the track. However, it is not to an extreme degree, much like, of course, Richmond, as we mentioned. It isn't quite like Bristol or Dover, where it's excess banking. It isn't quite like an intermediate track or Daytona or Talladega, where you can really rely on it. Here, Iowa, you got to balance everything all the time. It might not be like Martinsville, where it's almost entirely flat, but it really isn't something you can bank on for a full run, and we aren't expecting to see green flag pit stops. That we are. Tommy Osborne goes down low and finds himself now entering pit road. It's the 55 coming down and in. First green flag pit stop of the night as Tommy takes it down to pit road. He's going to be the first of many to soon come down and in as the night goes on. Jordan Coons will find himself as your race leader. Alec Daffin is then second, and you'll see third is going to be Michael Stroll as it stands 40 laps in out of 100. Going to be James Thurston now in fourth. He got by Vinny Tigner, and it looks like he's going to be able to make himself very close to the prize pool of the night, the podium, which is about 3 seconds ahead. He still has to get up there to guys like Stroll and Alec Daffin. However, still a very solid night so far, just has not been able to get up to the guys who have truly dominated this race. Daffin, Michael Stroll, we both saw them in the Integrity Ignite series throughout 2023, combining for a total of 3 wins throughout their campaigns. Daffin getting 2 in the previous season, Michael Stroll getting 1 in the inaugural season at Michigan, coming back for what was his first race of his consecutive campaign from the end of season 1 to the, of course, end of season 2, start to finish in that latter season. Stroll right now taking back to the number 3 machine, one of the numbers he's used in sim racing competition for over a decade and a half, and the number 38 machine no longer going to be seen coming into 2024. Domination Intimidation Racing, which has been in existence for just over 2 decades, continues as a successful iRacing operation led by Michael Stroll as he, of course, run for that team in the Integrity Ignite series and takes it around for other iRacing ventures. Now a successful team and the biggest in the Integrity Racing League, not the biggest, one of them by far. And right now, AC Delco's number 3 runs in 3rd. He was close to getting there to Alec Daffin, but it looks like that slowly but surely is not going to be a possibility. Daffin getting himself locked in once again, and now he looks to be quicker than Michael Stroll. Just not there with Jordan Kuntz just yet. And it doesn't really look like anyone will be, at least for now. We'll see as the night goes on. Tommy Osborne, the only guy to go down to pit road manually, at least for now. He did park it. His night is over. He will finish in 20th. Curtis Barron right now is going to be in 12th. Gary Bergeron is going to be in 11th. And you'll see Chris Tripp there in the 10th spot with Ryan Rose, position number 9, just ahead. A lot of very nice paint schemes tonight. A lot of throwbacks. A lot of original looks at the same time. Rick Spencer Walt's got one we got to keep an eye on here as he fights side by side with Henry Kaloff. Rick Spencer Walt is running a Kevin Harvick throwback. However, it isn't quite the typical Kevin Harvick throwback like a number 29 or a number 4. That's an IROC throwback to the International Race of Champions, a series that was ran until the mid-2000s, and some of our younger fans might not know about this series. However, effectively speaking, spec racing cars for champions of motorsport throughout the world. And Kevin Harvick was a featured driver in the final seasons of IROC, and you can see right now running the purple and black number 1 on the side of that number 1 machine. You'll also see it's going to be the green M&M on the hood and McDonald's on the back bumper. So it's an IROC throwback tonight. You don't see all too many of those too frequently, so it's a nice look as Michael Stroll takes it down in a pit road. Green flag pit stops are indeed in full swing now, and I don't think Michael Stroll is quitting for tonight. I think he's just getting started as he'll take it down a pit road for the first strategic pit stop of this event. 48 laps in at a 100, and it's Alec Daffin second in his number 48 machine, as Jordan Kuntz is still your leader here in the Dash for Cash 100. Now, we'd like to tell you a bit more about how you can join the fun here on FTN. And, of course, in the Saturday Night Thunder Grand National Series. Matter of fact, we are starting next week, so be sure to stop by the official FTN Discord server. QR code is on your screen, and if you want to join that Discord server, we have every broadcasted series we work with for you to join. Their information is linked in our Discord server, not to mention behind-the-scenes access to all FTN coverage. And if you want to chat with the team, we'd love to hear from you. FTN's official Discord is in the link on your YouTube streams whenever you watch live on FTN, and if you can scan the QR code on your TV or laptop, that'd be great as well. Once again, as we kick off 2024, the FTN community is still growing rapidly. Join the fun at the official FTN Discord server. Registration for the Saturday Night Thunder Grand National Series is still open, and we'd love to have you join. As a matter of fact, drivers were joining as recently as just a few hours ago to enter in this event. This is not exclusive iRacing action. You can join the fun as well. Just be sure to check out the official Saturday Night Thunder Discord server, also linked in every YouTube broadcast we do live on FTN. The first broadcast here of 2024, and you might have noticed a few things look different as the race has progressed, and the broadcast has as well, making some minor revisions to our overlay system. Expect a lot more changes as the year goes by. Again, a lot of help from our overlay team, particularly in Andrew Schulte, as he's made some fantastic designs. Tonight, I was able to make a few changes here, and we're looking at a fantastic overlay product, and it's going to give you a bit more information as the years will progress. So we're going to keep changing with the times here to bring you even more coverage as live on FTN, the action's only getting started for 2024. Speaking of action, Henry Kaloff goes down to pit road. Gary Bergeron goes in as well. That's another 1-2 punch down to pit road, and just like that, after the halfway marker, we now only have 47 laps remaining. It's going to be Gary Bergeron and Henry Kaloff at the same time. Most of your field is still out and on its way. Vinny Tigner trying to get back to James Thurston. We'll now see Ryan Rose come into pit road. And Rose comes in by himself. Will anyone join him? It looks like they will not. It's going to be Rose who makes it in by himself. Now Alec Daffin goes in just about a lap later. Daffin will give up the second position. James Thurston cycles up to second, and Jordan Kuntz remains on the track here as more and more drivers make their way in. So guys are still coming in and making changes to the running order. 46 laps to go. James Thurston is now effectively fighting for second, and he's going to be there with Vinny Tigner as more and more come in. It's a big one this time. Michael Boone's going to be in, not to mention Scott Erickson right behind him. Looks like Greg Robinson's making it in. James Nelson also coming through, and it's a big bunch now. You'll see that number 75. You'll also see Henry Kaloff is back on the way, but Michael Boone just got in, and it's going to be Curtis Sabaron also joining the fun as the number 54 has company on pit road, taking it down in now. That's a 55-lap run. This looks to be a single-stop strategy for the entire field. Now the question is, how long can Jordan Kuntz hold on? I think in his case, the undercut, of course, wouldn't quite work out now. Even the guys such as Alec Daffin have made their way down a pit road, Michael Stroll as well. I think the plan now for Jordan Kuntz is hold off as long as you can, make sure you have the newer tires at the end of the race, and stretching older equipment for longer. That has always been Jordan Kuntz, his claim to fame. He's been able to win races multiple times over by beating the best who have new equipment when he's got the disadvantage, coming out of pit road with the same stuff and wiping the floor with the field. So if Jordan Kuntz can hold on right now, I think he's going to have a fair shot at doing just that all over again. He's coming up now in a battle between Donald Vincent and, of course, the 63 of Henry Kaloff. Henry finds himself now ahead as it looks like the 8 flies back into the further portion of the frame. Jean Grab will make it in this time by, and as Jean goes through the number 53, 42 laps remain as the Dash for Cash 100 keeps on going. 42 laps to go. Vinny Tigner now in the body armor Ford Mustang holds his own as the number 12 machine is now running just behind James Thurston. It's about a 3.5-tenth gap, and it looks like it's going to be Gary Bergeron fast enough to clear both drivers who are on the lead lap. Take a look now on board with Gary Bergeron as he has new tires and is much faster than those drivers who do not. Now you'll see how quick Gary Bergeron is as he goes through almost every driver with ease. However, he is just about 1 lap down, a lap and a half down, in all honesty. It's a big gap to the leader right now, who is James Thurston, so it's going to take a lot to get back up there. However, Thurston's going to slide down a pit road this time by, and he'll make it in very loose, but he'll keep it together. Very nice job there for James Thurston to collect himself and get back at it once again. Tell you this much, chat, if you got a favorite driver that you're rooting for tonight, be sure to let us know in the chat room, always on FTN. If you subscribe to the channel, you have unlimited chat access to support your favorite driver. Now Vinny Tigner makes it down in, and he'll go through immediately after his former race-leading rival did, and it looks like a bumper just flew off the back of another driver, and there's no stopping on the field. Tyler Seivert might have been the reason, but you saw a bumper fly and nothing else came of it. Pretty odd there as James Nelson also goes through, but Seivert is slower as it looks like he did scrape the wall, and now he's going to have to lunge down a pit road, and he'll make it in. Vinny Tigner is coming out, and Rick Spencer-Walt is as well. Just like that, another double pair comes through and makes their way back on the track. The Hardy's number 90 of Chris Tripp leads the way and now makes it down a pit road. Largely quiet front stretch. There's Henry Kaloff going by, and now Michael Stroll is set to cycle back to the race lead. He has about a 1.5-second lead over Alec Daffin and about a 8-second lead over Jordan Kuntz. Big time advantage for Michael Stroll. And now, with 37 laps to go, the big question is, how much can Jordan Kuntz do with the time he's got? It's about 8 seconds back with 37 laps to go. If we rounded that up to about 40 laps to go, we could say he'd have to make up about 5/100ths of a second each and every time around, or rather, he'd have to make up more like half a second each and every time around to really get back up there with adequate time. So he's got to go. When it comes down to how quick he's got to be, Jordan Kuntz has to keep things moving and continuously make waves, because 7.5 seconds back he is now. That is quite a lot of time to make up, and even though Michael Stroll is now slower, he just ran at 24.401, he's only about a half a second It isn't anything all too dramatic in terms of the speed difference, but it could come into play if Michael Stroll gets any slower. The lead is his for now, but Alec Daffin is also going to be making a charge, and right now he's only 0.7 of a second behind and gaining at about an equidistant rate to Jordan Kuntz. Only difference is he's quicker and he is closer. 35 laps to go. 67, of course, completed. Now it's Gary Bergeron going down to the bottom side. Michael Stroll has none of it and is going to run up to the top here in the AC Delco Chevy. He'll take it up top, and it looks like he's going to try to ride the wave of momentum and clear Gary Bergeron, but it's not going to be easy here. As you see at the line, he is still just barely clear, but it's going to be a lunge by Bergeron that might do Michael Stroll in. He doesn't see that lunge this time, though, so just able to defend enough to avoid real trouble. Greg Robinson is going to be down a pit road this time by, and he'll take it in 68 laps in out of 100. There goes down on the bottom side Rick Spencer-Walt, and Spencer's going to be able to take it through and power by your race leader. And now 69 laps in. It was a nice lead for Michael Stroll, but not only has he lost about a half a second to Alec Daffin, he's lost 3 seconds to Jordan Kuntz. And it looks like now clearly Jordan Kuntz is the quicker man on the track, and he's showing lap after lap why that's the case. Alec Daffin is now going to be going neck and neck with the number 3 of Michael Stroll. Daffin looking down to the bottom side to take that race lead for the first time in this run. Gets close, just can't find the gap. Now lunges lower. It's going to be side by side once again. Looking closely, Daffin's got the low groove. Michael Stroll will have to hold up on the middle. Now lunging down to the bottom, he's got it, and the room has been taken. Michael Stroll is going to have to hold on to the top at the line. It is still Stroll with the lead, but it's not going to be any easier now as Alec Daffin runs on the bottom. He's going to try to lunge in even deeper that time through. These two have battled each other before, and it looks like they're set to do it all over again. Gary Bergeron is still watching on, and it looks like he's going to continue to do so. Daffin takes it very, very low. Michael Stroll likewise takes it very high, and as they come through this time by Daffin at the line, minute difference, but give it to Alec Daffin with 29 laps to go. That's about the closest they've been at the stripe, and now it's in Daffin's favor as he comes through the backstretch once again. Very similar battle to he and Jordan Kuntz, but it looks like now it's Daffin with the advantage, and it is a certainty. As they come through out of turn 4, it's going to be Alec Daffin who has the lead. Michael Stroll tries to lunge low, though, and it's not over. Now it's going to be Michael Stroll taking it down to the bottom side. He washes up just a bit, and Stroll is not going to have it. Powering down the back straightaway, Alec Daffin still giving it his all. And Michael Stroll definitely giving it all he had and then some there on the oldest run of tires in the field. He was leading there until the previous lap, and now Michael Stroll's going to be fading back. Gary Bergeron is still there as a bit of a buffer, but 27 laps to go. Jordan Kuntz is the fast man to keep an eye out for, and this Ford Mustang will not quit. All of a sudden, it looks like he's going to be within striking distance of both Stroll and Daffin. The only thing that Alec Daffin can really hope on now is that it's going to be Michael Stroll who is the buffer until, of course, that number 48 has to face the wrath of Jordan Kuntz and this number 99. They've been quick, all three of them, all night long, and are almost certainly the podium of tonight's race, because James Thurston right now is 7 seconds back, running in 4th. So I think right now we know who would be the top 3, just don't know their order. And right now it's only 0.3 of a second between Stroll and Alec Daffin. So Michael Stroll not necessarily done here, but definitely trying to hold on by any means necessary, knowing who is now in the back of the picture. Just behind that number 90, it's Jordan Kuntz, and he's looking to get back in there, back in the mix, back looking for a race win. At the line, 24 laps to go. This time by as we're coming through after the first 3 quarters of this race. We've got ourselves the final leg to decide a race winner and our grand prize winner at the same time. The dash for cash with money on the line. As seen, of course, Plenty of drivers come and go up in front, but now we know who the mainstays are and who will be here to fight until the very end. Alec Daffin has still held on with 23 laps to go, and coming up this time by live on FTN, we will crank it up for the first time this year, courtesy of our friends at TrackCams22.com. With over 100 car and track combinations, visit TrackCams22.com for the best cameras on the iRacing platform. If you're an iRacing broadcaster or sim racing photographer, check out TrackCams22 for all of your camera needs. Let's crank it up now with 22 laps to go. Alec Daffin leads by now a second and a half as you're watching live as we crank it up, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. And the caution will fly for the first time tonight. It looks like there is trouble on the racetrack. Yellow flag is out. We'll check out just what happened. It looks to be Curtis Sabarin in big trouble as the yellow flag's out. The motor has blown, and it looks like there's a wrench in the equation. Curtis Sabarin blows a motor. Yellow flag is out. Let's take an instant replay and find out just what happened here as Curtis Sabarin will face some trouble live on FTN. Let's take a look back at what happened here. Sabarin is still billowing smoke as it stands, and we're gonna see just what caused it as Sabarin brings us under yellow for the first time tonight after a total of 83 laps. And you can see there, it looks like the number 5 is going to drive right up into him. Sabarin goes up and overcorrects, and Michael Boone initiates the contact. Sabarin ends up at the top of the wall, and the caution will fly now with 18 laps to go. And we've got trouble for the first time tonight. Yellow flag is out. Sabarin's night, it might be over here. As you can see, he's still plowing through. He's got smoke out the back bumper, and you can see now pit road is getting busy as the race off pit road is soon to determine who will have the race lead with only 17 laps to go. Davin had a fantastic run earlier on. He held on for more than 17 laps on equal tires. It's the most important pit stop of the night. Michael Stroll gets a jump. It looks like Daffin gets close. 3 wide at the exit of pit road, and it looks like it will go to Alec Daffin. He's got the edge, and it was oh so close, but Daffin does hold on. Take a look back at that. It's the race off pit road that might determine the race for the win. One more time now. We'll take it back, and you're going to see just how close it was. And you can see as they come across the line there, Daffin, Stroll, Kuntz, so close to one another, and it looks like as they come by, it's Daffin who just barely gets out ahead, and that nose, that front splitter is the difference between who has the lead with 16 laps remaining and who's going to be sitting in second and third. Oh, 3 wide, and they had fantastic pit stops. Matter of fact, Daffin actually had the slowest time through pit road overall of all of them, and he still comes out with the advantage. It's Daffin with the advantage through pit road's exit. That really gives him all he needs. What a show there. That's going to be perhaps the difference of winning and losing tonight. We saw how good Daffin was in the first 15 laps. Now we're going to see how good he'll be in the final 15. Yellow flag is out for the first time tonight, and your 3 drivers up ahead. the best of which all night long are still there looking for a chance at the race win. Coming through this time by just past the Geico restart zone. It's going to be a finale to remember here in the Dash for Cash 100. Daffin has the race lead. The pace car lights are still on. So tell you this much here, as we start the new year off right, we're watching an iRacing motorsport simulation broadcast. iRacing is the #1 online simulator in the world with the best pricing for the most realistic experience in motorsport. Be sure to check out iRacing.com after tonight's broadcast, and we'll bring you back after a brief promotional break, courtesy of our friends at iRacing, the #1 online motorsport simulator for over 15 years.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And coming back now with 14 laps remaining, it will be a baker's dozen when the green flag flies. Watching live on FTN, this is the Dash for Cash 100, and now it's time to get back going. Alec Daffin, the winner off pit road, has the big advantage now. The question is, can Michael Stroll or Jordan Kuntz do anything about it? Pace car goes down to pit road. Daffin's got the lead. Green flag set to fly, and that it does. Green flag's out. Daffin with a rocket start, and we're back on our way. Daffin's got the race lead, and you can see he jumps out nicely there. Michael Stroll's going to fade back into third. Not the best start for him, but he's not going to be losing anything more. James Thurston also settles back in line, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 once again. This time, Kuntz doesn't have the lead. 12 laps to go, and perhaps one of the most unexpected circumstances of all this race, a clean race for over 80 laps sees a yellow flag thrown in the final 20. And now Jordan Kuntz has the race lead. No longer, it's going to be Alec Daffin with the advantage as he comes across the line once again, and it's still about a quarter of a second compared to Jordan Kuntz right now. It looks like he's got the big advantage, and he's now looking to hold on to it until the checkered flag falls. Michael Stroll holds on there in third, but James Thurston's now looking for some money, and this is when money begins to talk. Henry Kaloff goes down to the bottom, and he's now looking for fourth. Kaloff's going to get involved in the mix as well. Keep in mind, top three are getting paid tonight, so you'll want to be in that podium for a shot at the dollars. And this is where everyone begins to race a bit more aggressive when you're up in front. You're in the top 5, top 6, maybe even 7th. You got a realistic chance at making something happen, making a move for the money now as James Thurston goes down low and runs Michael Stroll up to the top of the track. Michael's going to be able to hold on there on the top side, just trying to maintain his spot while Thurston sends it deep. He really throws himself through and almost hits Michael Stroll on the way there. Now it's going to be 9 laps remaining and time really running out. Michael Stroll puts the power through 3 and 4 and now has the advantage as he looked at James Thurston giving it all he had, just couldn't get there, at least for the time being. Michael Stroll still on defense in that number 3. 8 laps remaining, your top 2 are running away. Alec Daffin's got the race lead. Jordan Kuntz then in second. And now it looks like Alec Daffin looking to win another race in these Xfinity Series cars. He's been the quickest in the past half year of just about anyone on the platform using them. Whenever he needs to show up, he does show up. And now it's 7 laps to go. All eyes are turned to the battle for third. The final man on the podium is currently is Michael Stroll, but that still could change. Right on board now with James Thurston's number 29, and see what he's doing to try and make something happen, working down to the bottom. Thurston's going to get very close to Michael Stroll's quarter panel once again, just can't get there, and it looks like he'll have to settle going up top all the more. James Thurston tries to find a way around, but the solution is not in sight. He's going to power down the back straightaway and maybe lunge it a bit deeper, but he'll instead go to the outside groove here, as you see up in front. Now there's a battle developing with 5 laps to go. Jordan Kuntz is close, and he is getting there on Alec Daffin. Going way down low to the bottom of the track. Jordan Kuntz has the low side. Alec Daffin's got it top. He's going to have that maintained race lead down the back straightaway, but it's only about a tenth of a second here. If not, it's just slightly more. And these two drivers, no strangers to battling each other, will kick off 2024 with a fight to the finish. 4 laps remaining. Now Alec Daffin's got himself a race lead again. It was Kuntz who made it close, and who's to say he won't once again at the line. They were only separate in lap time by about a tenth, and that tenth made all the difference between Jordan Kuntz still being side by side and now being right behind as he sets up the shot one more time. It's going to be 3 laps to go this time through, with Alec Daffin holding the advantage, and it could be a lunge there from Jordan Kuntz, but nothing coming through turns 1 and 2. And the time of course, the want and almost the need to be aggressive. You gotta be patient and wait for the right time to make the move. Kuntz goes down low, finds the opportunity, and takes it down to the bottom. 3 laps to go, and it could be a slide job. Now Daffin goes down to the bottom and makes it neck and neck with 2 laps left. Oh, so close at the line, and now it's gonna be Daffin with the lead again. He's gonna be shoving down low, tries to make it around, and they'll be neck and neck with Michael Stroll also coming up. Look at Michael Stroll here, waiting in the wings, seeing the aggressive driving just ahead of him. He might be able to throw himself into it, and as the white flag will fly, this race is official. Jordan Kuntz has the lead. 1 lap to go. It's going to be Kuntz with the edge, and now it's going to be Alec Daffin looking to find anything left. He's now, for the first time in this run, not neck and neck with Jordan Kuntz. Michael Stroll looks down low. That's going to distract Alec Daffin. Daffin goes high, and Kuntz will go through. Coming out of turn 4, the dash for cash will be collected by Jordan Kuntz, making the money and kicking off 2024 back on top. Jordan Kuntz will get it done again, and your 2-time defending champion wins from the Iowa Speedway. Alec Daffin and Michael Stroll kept it honest till the very end, but only one can come out on top, and why not your defending title winner? And Jordan Kuntz will come through to burn down the house in celebration of a fantastic victory. And let's watch the celebration, the first of the new year. And for Jordan Kuntz, parking it on the start-finish line, looks like no major burnout. Nonetheless, putting it back where it all began and where it all ended. Kuntz will get it done and finds himself a winner at Iowa. It'll be Jordan Kuntz ahead of Alec Daffin, then in second, with Michael Stroll rounding out the podium, and James Thurston then position number 4. Vinny Tigner concludes the top 5 with Rick Spencer Walt 6th, Henry Kaloff then 7th, and Jackson Van Pelt then in 8th, with Chris Tripp 9th, and then Gary Bergeron, who conclude the top 10. Then from there, the 11th spot will be held by the driver of the number, looks to be 75. That's James Nelson, 1 lap down with Donald Vinson, then in 12th, and John Grab in 13th. It's going to be then Scott Erickson in the 14th spot. Michael Boone is going to be in 15th, and it's Greg Robinson 16th with Tyler Seivert 17th and Curtis Sabarin in 18th. Ryan Rose then 19th, and Tommy Osborne to conclude the top 20. And finally, it's going to be River Page 21st and Carter Gacy in 22nd. As there's only one driver that can come through on top, it is Jordan Kuntz. And what a battle that was between these two drivers, and they never disappoint. Kuntz and Daffin, when they go for the race win, they make it known it's all about that last lap. And tonight, there was prize money too, but it was almost like any other race where these two get back to the front. Just like that, it's going to be Kuntz, your race winner. Let's get a word from your podium tonight, as we'll get them all into the waiting room and hopefully get a word from Kuntz, Alec Daffin, and your third place finisher of Michael Stroll, and they'll all be in the waiting room momentarily to get comments from your podium. Fantastic race, another great finish, and this sets the bar for what we're going to see all season long. How about that one for Jordan Kuntz in particular? And just when you thought he was done winning, it looks like he can't escape victory lane. And right now, as we hope to get a word from our podium, nobody is ready to speak with us, at least just yet. So we'll tell you this much. We'll bring you back after a brief iRacing promotional break one more time. We'd like to thank all our partners here at FTN, and we will return after the following message. You're watching the Dash for Cash 100. Stay tuned for your upcoming top 3 interviews.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And it looks like to kick off our interviews tonight, we will get a word from our second place finisher in Alec Daffin, the number 48. He made it fun all throughout the night, and I'll tell you this much, another great performance. Daffin, we know how good you are here with these Xfinity Series machines, and tonight, oh so close at the very end, another thrilling battle. You come home second here in the Dash for Cash 100. How's it feel after a very exciting race?
Yeah, this came up a little short there. I mean, I had everything in my favor. I got the lead on the start, and then caution came out before Jordan got back to me on that long green flag run because he had the pressure tires, and I lost a lot of time racing Stroll there. And Jordan was going to get me, but got the fresh tires there and had the track position. Just couldn't make it happen. Jordan's an excellent driver, and he raced me clean. He was fast. He deserved the 100%. Just I kept overdriving the entries there and couldn't get turned in the center, and he just kept getting the exits on me there. Then three to go, coming to 2 to go. He pulled that slider, and I could have tried to stay on the outside, but I wanted to try and cross him over there, and was not the right call. Should have probably just tried to stay on the outside if I could have, without causing a wreck. But, I mean, Jordan's tough compare. It's tough to beat him even on my best day. So, I mean, he won fair and square. I gave him my all and came up short. But, hey, still, as they say, second still prays very well. So, we'll take it, I guess.
And of course, it's a great way to set yourself up for what's next here with these Xfinity machines in the Grand National Series. And of course, Iowa, one of those tracks we don't see all too often, but still great to have that experience in a race in here before the season gets going. What are your plans in regards to what's next here in SNT? And maybe competing a bit further up there for another chance at a win.
Originally, I was going to do part-time, but I said I'm going to try full-time again. At least that's my plan for now. It could change, but we're going to try and run at the start of the season, see how things go, and we'll probably run full-time for the championship. Still kind of running on my own, just run the Colorado Technical University paint scheme. Kind of just doing my own thing, not on the team right now, not looking for one. But, yeah, we're going to try and run full-time and see how it goes, and hopefully we can, I guess we're going to have I don't know if I have a Final Four again this season or not, but if we do, hopefully we can be a contention for a championship either way and finally get that breakthrough, but only time will tell.
And still looking up to what is next here, not only, of course, in the Saturday Night Thunder organization, but, of course, Alec Daffin, your plans for 2024 look to be a little different than what it's been previously. So if you want to finish off with some thoughts about what's next for you when it comes to racing, be sure to let us know here.
Yeah, obviously, I got another Friday league I'm going to be running part-time in, and I'll be running full-time here in SMT. That's my plan, and then I'm running the NASCAR College iRacing series. I've only been running the B main so far, but hopefully trying to make it to that next step if possible. But going to run the last 4 races of the season in that, and run official races here and there. But yeah, my plan is to step away indefinitely early June, which is when the official iRacing season 2 will be over. But I'll definitely be back in the future. Not exactly sure when, but things are kind of up in the air right now. But trying to have fun right now, and then probably gonna take a little break at the start of June.
You're looking forward to what's next, of course, for the next half year. Alec Daffin, you come home second year tonight. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
As usual, thank you for doing the broadcast, and excited to have you back for another season, David. Thanks to Vinny and Carter for putting on the league. And obviously not with the team now, but still think Colorado Technical University, and it's got the NASCAR logos on the car. And Twitch viewers, not there right now, but Twitch viewers at Alec Daffin 48. And yeah.
There we have it. Alec Daffin comes home second in tonight's event, the Dash for Cash 100 at Iowa. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, David.
And from Alec Daffin, we'll move on to your third place finisher in Michael Stroll, and then cycle back to your winner in Jordan Kuntz. From second to third, Michael Stroll was right there at the end, and much like Alec Daffin, waiting for the opportunity, and just a few tenths behind the overall victory tonight in a very thrilling start-to-finish event in Iowa. How do you feel here as we kick off 2024 with an exciting race?
Hey, David, how was your holidays?
Well, I'll tell you this much. I missed the racing, and I think tonight we all got back into it. I don't know about you, but this one I was looking forward to, and it's great to bring all the action of these high-speed stock cars back, and the Xfinity ones as well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, being a different league than Integrity, and I haven't run this car at this track in probably over 2 calendar years. So I joined. I'm going to run as much as I can on Saturday nights here to keep first to knock the rust off and keep fresh for my main league, Integrity Racing, which you guys cover on Mondays and Tuesdays. But 100 laps went green. Can't complain about the racing. And that last restart was pretty tight there. I thought Thurston was going to try to slide job me there a couple times, but held on for third. Good start to the year. Hopefully it means more good things to come.
And a few familiar faces up there with you there. Of course, Alec Daffin, who was your, of course, previous Integrity Ignite Series champion. You know he knows how to wheel these things around, these Xfinity machines especially. And Jordan Kuntz, 2-time champion coming in. So you were up there with the best of the best in this series when it comes to the talent. And, of course, James Thurston there right behind you. No shortage of talent. So how was it running up front there, knowing how close everyone was, basically on the same level till the end?
Yeah, I know Jordan was pretty good. And the other race I ran with this group a couple months ago at Richmond was the same result. Jordan won, Daffin was second, I was third. Seeing Thurston and I think River Page in here, which I recognize from some of your broadcasts and the IDK players' broadcasts, I was like, oh, it's pretty exciting to run some of these guys that I see elsewhere. So I was happy that it wasn't a complete disaster and everyone ran clean and hard. And it was my first race with the oval refresh. Wasn't sure how much different it would have been, or it was actually. But last time I ran here, Iowa is pretty much bottom 1 and 2, top 3 and 4. So it was nice to see everyone try different things. And like I said, I'm not sure if that's the car, the track, or if that has anything to do with the new oval refresh. But we'll take third place. I think I'll take $10 and maybe get me some lunch with that or something somewhere next week or something like that. But got to hit the sack here soon. Got to go shovel some snow. Got work in the morning. But I had a blast.
Michael Stroll bringing the number 3 back to the podium tonight in the third place spot. Is there anything else you'd like to leave us with?
No. If anyone's watching, and if you like what you saw, Integrity Racing, I don't want to plug what we're doing on someone else's stuff, but we do run Mondays and Tuesdays. Really looking for Tuesday car counts that runs the next-gen car. So if you like what you see here on FTN, there's more of it during the rest of the week. David and his crew cover multiple leagues, so if you're not in any of them, check them all out.
Well, we'd love to have you back, Michael Stroll, tonight. On a Saturday, you pulled through for a third place finish, and we'll be seeing you more throughout the rest of the week. Thank you for your time, and hope you have a good night.
Later, dude.
Michael Stroll on the way. That's your third place finisher, and a very similar result to that race in Richmond. And the battle, pretty reminiscent because we had the same winner, Jordan Kuntz, once again on top tonight. And you pull back to victory lane, and it's almost like you never left. Kuntz, you pull home with the win once more. How you feeling?
This one feels great, especially after the amazing battle me and Alec had in the around lap 30, and of course there with 2 to go. It was a very fun race. Definitely wouldn't have had the opportunity to win without the late race caution. Tires evened out a lot quicker than I would have expected, and it's been really hard to pass Alec. But either way, it was a very exciting finish, and just glad that I could pull it off at the end.
And we saw how close it was between you and Alec Daffin throughout the entire race. Only one caution to really balance everything out. And that race off pit road, we almost thought was the game change. We thought that was the difference between getting up there and winning compared to just lying back. But you definitely took at it, and with 5 laps to go, started that charge to get back for the win. How was it knowing the time crunch? That was a definite limitation, but you came through nonetheless.
During the pit stop, I didn't expect to gain any positions out of it, and I knew whether I was starting second or third, I would have a really good opportunity to get the jump on Alec and be able to be right on its tail during that short run, and just knew that he was overdriving the entry a little bit and that I had the opportunity to get better X than him and took full advantage of it.
And taking full advantage, and with such a strong field up in front, I'll tell you this much, this could set the tone for what's left here in the season. I'll tell you this much as well, we're coming up next week, Daytona. We will be back. What do you think it's going to be like with this Grand National Series as opposed to the trucks of previous years where you were the champion twice over?
But a lot's going to change. I'm definitely put in a few races of practice to get prepared to this car. It's been a long time since I've driven the Xfinity car every week, and definitely something to get used to over the season and to figure out strategy with. And definitely this race will definitely give me a lot of momentum going into the few weeks, and hopefully Daytona will go smoothly.
For the small track here in Iowa, the big stuff up next. Jordan Kuntz, one of the most accomplished drivers in this series history, is looking to come back with another opportunity to chase the checkered flag with 2024 ahead. Any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with before we go on to the next event?
I would like to thank everyone at this series, this league with Vinny and Carter, with all that they do, putting on a great preseason rate. This is really good number for drivers turnout, and hope that we can carry this throughout the whole season. It'd be a really fun season, and yeah, just amazing what they've done to this league and how they've managed to have this turnout for a preseason race.
And we're just getting started here in 2024. The final preseason event will see Jordan Kuntz a race winner at the end of 100 laps in Iowa. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And just like that, Jordan Kuntz will wrap out a fantastic night of racing. The Dash for Cash 100 kicks off the year here on FTN and kicks off the year for the Saturday Night Thunder Grand National Series. I think everyone in this field is excited for what is next, as I'll tell you this much, we're looking forward to it as well. A night in Iowa that ends with action. This has been the Dash for Cash 100, the final preseason event of 2024 here in SNC. We'll be back next Saturday, and that's going to be, of course, with Daytona, the season opener, to bring the field to the biggest track in Florida and make some waves with the championship battle beginning here in just 7 days' time. Thank you all for watching live on FTN. I've been your host, producing and commentating, David Kreutz, and if you enjoyed tonight's action, be sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is immensely appreciated. Thank you all for watching live on FTN once again, and we'll be returning for the rest of 2024 to bring you more high-octane racing action, no matter the track and no matter the time. Live on FTN, we'd love to have you watch once again. Thank you all for your immense support, and we hope you have a great night.